You open Instagram. Someone you went to high school with just bought a house. You scroll down. Another one's getting married. Scroll again. Someone your age just got promoted to director. You lock your phone, you stare at the ceiling, and that voice shows up. The quiet one. Why is everyone ahead of me? You're not broke, you're not failing, you're getting by. But something feels off. Like everyone got a memo you missed. Like life was supposed to click into place by now, and it just didn't. If that's you right now, stay with me, because what I found might change the way you see your entire life. We all grew up with this invisible checklist. Graduate by 22, get a real job by 25, buy a house, get married, have kids, be settled by 30. Nobody sat us down and handed us this list, but somehow it's in our heads. Our parents lived by it, movies reinforced it, and every Thanksgiving dinner reminds us, so what's next for you? We all believed that if we followed the steps in the right order at the right time, life would just work. And if it didn't, well, that meant something was wrong with us. But here's what nobody told us. That checklist expired in 1960. Back then, the average woman got married at 20, men at 23. A house cost twice your annual salary. College was practically free. Today, the average marriage age is 28 to 30. A house costs 8 times your salary. The average American starts adult life with $39,000 in student debt. 42% of people are still paying that off 20 years later. The world completely changed, but that checklist in your head, it didn't update. You're measuring a 2026 life with a 1960s ruler and then wondering why you feel short. But it gets worse, because it's not just the checklist. A philosopher named René Girard spent his career studying something uncomfortable. He called it mimetic desire, and his conclusion was brutal. You don't actually know what you want. None of us do. Girard found that humans don't generate desire on their own. We copy it. We look at what other people want, and our brain says, I should want that too. Your friend buys a BMW, and suddenly you feel like you need a nicer car. Your coworker gets promoted, and suddenly your job feels smaller. Your cousin gets engaged, and suddenly being single feels like a disease. You didn't want those things 5 minutes ago, but now your brain is convinced you're behind because you don't have them. That anxiety you feel, it might not even be yours. It's borrowed, copied from someone else's highlight reel, and you've been carrying it around like it belongs to you. Now, layer social media on top of that. An evolutionary psychologist named Robin Dunbar found that the human brain was designed to handle about 150 relationships. That's it, 150 people. That was your tribe. That's who your brain was built to compare itself to. But every morning, Instagram shoves the top 1% of 8 billion people into your bedroom. The richest, the most attractive, the most successful. Your brain, a brain built for a village of 150, is now trying to rank itself against the entire planet. That's not a fair fight. That's a rigged game. And your brain doesn't know the difference. It sees those people and registers a threat. You're falling behind the tribe. In our ancestors' world, falling behind the tribe meant death. So your nervous system fires up, your chest tightens. You can't sleep at 3 a.m. because your brain is running an audit on your entire life. That's not anxiety about your career. That's a survival alarm going off for a danger that doesn't exist. But here's the part that actually hurts. 43% of millennials and 41% of Gen Z say they feel financially behind. But when researchers actually looked at the numbers, 37% of those people had more than $10,000 in savings. That's above the national average. They weren't behind, they felt behind. And 67% of Gen Z say they can't afford housing. Nearly 2 million young people disappeared from the housing market last year, not because they were lazy, because the math literally doesn't work anymore. But what does society tell you? Work harder, hustle more. If you're not winning, it's because you're not trying.
That's what Alain de Botton calls the cruelty of meritocracy. In the old days, if you were poor, it was God's will. Nobody blamed you. But in a society that says anyone can make it if they try hard enough, the flip side is devastating. If you haven't made it, it must be your fault. You must be lazy. You must be broken. Meritocracy turned a rigged system into a personal identity crisis. You're not just struggling, you're a failure. At least that's what your brain tells you. And the cruelest part, everyone around you feels the same way, but nobody says it. There's a term in psychology called pluralistic ignorance. It means everyone privately feels one thing, but assumes everyone else feels the opposite, so they fake it. Your friend who just posted that vacation photo, she's 3 months behind on credit card payments. Your coworker who seems so confident, he almost quit last Tuesday. That couple who looks so happy online, they had a screaming fight an hour before that photo. Everyone is performing I have it together, and everyone is watching everyone else's performance and thinking, I'm the only one who doesn't. You're not behind. You're just the only one being honest with yourself about how hard this is. So what do we actually do with all this? I'm not going to tell you to think positive or stop comparing yourself. Your brain has been doing this for 200,000 years. A motivational quote isn't going to override evolution. But there are things that actually work, things backed by real research, and they take about 5 minutes. The first one is something I call the desire audit. This comes from Girard's work on mimetic desire. Next time you feel that sting of I'm behind, stop and ask one question. Is this actually what I want, or is this what I want because someone else has it? Write it down. Be honest. You might find that half of what's stressing you out isn't even on your real list. It's on someone else's list that you accidentally downloaded. When Bruno tried this, he realized he didn't actually want a corporate promotion. He wanted creative freedom. He'd been chasing someone else's dream and feeling like a failure at a game he never even wanted to play. The second one is what a Princeton professor named Johannes Haushofer made famous. He called it the failure CV. Haushofer published his own resume of failures. Every rejected paper, every job he didn't get, every grant that said no. It went viral because people realized behind every success story is a graveyard of failures nobody talks about.
Here's what you do. Tonight, take 5 minutes and write down every rejection, failure, and setback you've had. The job you didn't get, the relationship that ended, the project that flopped. When Ziggy tried this, something shifted. He looked at his list and thought, wait, I've been through all of that and I'm still here? That list didn't make him feel worse. It made him realize he'd been in the fight the whole time. You're not behind. You've been surviving. The third one is the simplest but might be the most powerful. I call it the ruler check. Every time your brain says, I should be further along by now, ask one question. According to whose ruler? Is it your parents' ruler? Society's ruler? Instagram's algorithm? Because if you're measuring your marathon with someone else's sprint timer, you will always feel slow. Pip tried this on a random Tuesday night. She was spiraling. No house, no promotion, no relationship. She stopped and asked, whose checklist is this? And she realized almost none of it was actually hers. She wanted a quiet life, a creative life. The panic wasn't coming from her reality. It was coming from a borrowed scoreboard. When you throw out someone else's ruler, something strange happens. You stop feeling behind. Not because your life changed, but because you finally stopped measuring it with tools that were never meant for you. Right now, somewhere, someone is looking at your life and thinking, I wish I had that. You won't believe that, that's okay, but it's true. The race you think you're losing, most of the people ahead of you don't even feel like they're winning. So before you go to sleep tonight, try one thing. Put your phone down, close your eyes, and ask yourself, honestly, if nobody could see my life and nobody could judge it, what would I actually want it to look like? That answer, that's your real starting line. And you're not late to it. You're exactly on time.